"They're coming to take me away." If you recognize that line, you're among the few who remember one of 1966's strangest chart hits. Most people can name the Beatles and Rolling Stones tracks from '66, but what about the songs that briefly ruled the airwaves, then vanished? These 10 forgotten tracks tell the real story of 1966, a year when garage bands could become overnight sensations, novelty songs could top the charts, and some of the most innovative sounds in rock history appeared and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The song that drove everyone crazy. In the summer of 1966, a truly bizarre song captured America's attention. "They're coming to take me away. Ha ha!" featured no actual melody, just a narrator's increasingly frantic voice over sirens and drums, descending into maniacal laughter. Behind this strange creation was Jerry Samuels, a recording engineer who performed as Napoleon XIV. His technical experience allowed him to craft something genuinely innovative, using speed-manipulated vocals and unconventional sound effects that stood out on radio playlists. Despite its disturbing theme about mental breakdown, the song rocketed to number 3 on the Billboard charts. Not everyone appreciated the humor. Many stations banned it for making light of mental illness. Still, it sold over 1 million copies. Samuels never created another hit, cementing his place as a true one-hit wonder. The song remains a cultural curiosity that occasionally surfaces in movies and TV shows about the 1960s. The garage band that almost made it big. While Napoleon XIV was crafting novelty sounds, a group of teenagers from San Jose was creating something much more authentic. The Syndicate of Sound captured lightning in a bottle with Little Girl, a raw breakup anthem that perfectly showcased the emerging garage rock sound of 1966. Little Girl climbed all the way to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, earning the band appearances on American Bandstand and a contract with Bell Records. They even toured with major acts like Paul Revere and the Raiders, but just as they were gaining momentum, the Vietnam War draft scattered the band members. Their hit became a garage rock standard, covered by bands like the Dickies and Dead Moon, inspiring generations of garage rockers. The birth of psychedelic garage rock. Ever heard of the Count 5? These high school kids from San Jose created what many consider the definitive psychedelic garage rock song. Psychotic Reaction blended the Yardbirds' rave-up style with raw American garage energy, creating something completely new in 1966. The band stood out in the crowded San Francisco scene, wearing Dracula capes during their wild performances. Their combination of feedback, harmonica, and frantic drumming reached number 5 on the Billboard charts in October 1966. Surprisingly, despite this success, the band members chose college over music careers, but their legacy was secured. Psychotic Reaction became the blueprint for countless psychedelic garage bands that followed, the anthem that launched Boston's rock scene. The song came from an unfortunate incident. Producer Ed Cobb was mugged while visiting Boston. He transformed that negative experience into lyrics about the polluted Charles River and city crime problems. Somehow, this unflattering portrait became something Bostonians proudly embraced. With its distinctive guitar riff and rebellious attitude, Dirty Water reached number 11 on the Billboard charts. The Standells never matched this success, but their legacy was secured when the Boston Red Sox started playing the song after every home victory at Fenway Park. The Lions Who Roared Just Once. You know those songs that get stuck in your head with just one listen? That was Open Up Your Door by Richard and the Young Lions. This New Jersey garage band created something special in 1966 with their aggressive, organ-driven sound. What's amazing is these teenagers recorded the whole thing in just one take. No fancy production or multiple attempts, just raw energy captured on tape. That demanding chorus and pounding rhythm made it a big hit across the Northeast, though it only reached number 99 on the national charts. The tragic tale behind a rock classic. In 1966, a young Texas musician named Bobby Fuller took a song originally recorded by Buddy Holly's band, The Crickets, and turned it into his signature hit, I Fought the Law. With its driving beat and Fuller's Holly-inspired vocals, reached number 9 on the Billboard charts in March 1966. 1966. The Bobby Fuller Four were on their way up. They even appeared in the beach party film The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini and seemed ready for long-term success. But tragedy struck in July 1966 when Fuller was found dead in his car with gasoline poured over his body. He was only 23. The party song that defined Southern frat rock. If you went to college in the South during the 60s, you know this song. The Swingin' Medallions weren't professional musicians, just a group of college students from South Carolina who created what became the ultimate party anthem. Double Shot of My Baby's Love captured everything about fraternity parties with its rowdy vocals, honking horns, and pure energy. The band recorded it in a converted car garage in Greenwood, South Carolina, giving it that authentic, unpolished sound that made it feel like you were right there at the party. The band still performs today with new members, playing their one hit to crowds across the South who still know every word. The sweet success of a bubblegum pioneer. While psychedelic rock was expanding minds in 1966, Tommy Roe was heading in the opposite direction. The Atlanta singer created Sweet Pea, a song so simple and childlike it almost seemed from another era. With its nursery rhyme melody and straightforward lyrics, it offered something completely different from the experimental sounds filling the airwaves. Music critics probably rolled their eyes, but younger listeners couldn't get enough. Sweet Pea climbed to number 8 on the Billboard charts, proving there was still room for uncomplicated joy in music. The song helped establish the bubblegum pop genre that would dominate AM radio in the coming years. Though Roe had other hits like Dizzy and Jam Up and Jelly Tight, none defined an entire musical category like Sweet Pea did. Before Chicago, the early days of the Ides of March. Before they became the band behind the brass-heavy hit Vehicle, the Ides of March were just teenagers from Chicago with a British invasion sound. In 1966, they released You Wouldn't Listen, an organ-driven track that perfectly captured high school heartbreak. Recorded while the band members were still in high school, the song featured pleading vocals and a driving beat that spoke directly to teen frustrations. It climbed to number 42 on the Billboard charts, marking them as promising newcomers to the music scene. Despite this early success, the Ides of March disappeared from the charts until they reinvented themselves with a brass section for their 1970 hit Vehicle, the dance craze that came and went. When Detroit R&B trio The Capitals released Cool Jerk in 1966, they created one of the most infectious dance tracks of the year. The song took the popular but controversial jerk dance craze and offered a more refined alternative, something everyone could do at parties. With its irresistible beat and simple instructions, Cool Jerk climbed to number 7 on the Billboard charts and reached number 2 on the R&B charts. But despite this massive success, the Capitals couldn't create another hit and disbanded before the decade ended. Today, Cool Jerk continues appearing in movies, TV shows, and commercials, ensuring the Capitals' brief moment of fame lives on decades after they topped the charts. When you look at 1966 through these forgotten hits, you see a year that changed music forever. From the Standells' gritty garage rock to Tommy Roe's bubblegum pop to the Capitals' dance floor, R&B, all these sounds existed side by side, creating a musical turning point. These forgotten gems tell us more about 1966 than the famous hits that survived. Dig into this music beyond what you already know. You'll discover the real sound of a generation in transition.